Well, we can't talk about Horizon Hobby without covering Hangar 9. Now, for a lot of pilots that go through the ParkZone and all the small ultra micro stuff and work into the park flyers, there's a desire for that eventual graduation into the big stuff. Hangar 9 product line covers the big stuff. And namely a lot of warbirds. We have the really cool, interesting stuff with a lot of history, including like last year's release of the Corsair. Now we have Bill Brundle with us, product developer, with the new Gentleman Jim, the big P-51 Mustang.
Yep.
So we've got a lot of innovations going on, from power plant to sequential retracts. We've got bigger retracts coming out that are E-flite branded retracts.
Yes.
A lot of cool things. So let's go ahead and kind of take us through from nose to tail the creation that you have here in front of you after, I'm sure, several months of work. So
yeah, several months that kind of led into a few years, but the culmination of that is what you see here. It is a balsa and ply airplane, entirely covered in our Hangar 9 Ultra Coat. Out of the box, as you see it here, as they say, the term out of the box, starting from the nose back. The spinner, you see a painted spinner cone is included with the airplane. It is not available as an option. Okay. It's in the box. Power plant wise, we designed the airplane around our new Evolution 62cc fuel injected engine. Fantastic power. It fits in the airplane quite well, as you can see the muffler and everything. Engine as you see it set up here.
Now with the new engine and with that design kind of comes some benefits, and one thing you mentioned was multiple octane ratings. So you can go from your pump gas 80 some octane up to your 90 octane without any problems at all.
Correct.
Instead of being dependent on the old compression inherent to a carburetor naturally aspirated motor, we have the advantages of some adjustments on the fly.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And that gives us a lot flatter power curve, a lot more consistent power curve as we change fuel types. Is that safe to say with this engine?
Yes,
or do you actually see the benefits of going with the higher octane?
You can only get so much, as Pete would say, our engine category manager would tell you, you can only get so much power out of so much displacement. And with the fuel injection system, we've optimized that.
Okay.
So it basically has the ability to be adaptive into whatever fuel you're placing into it. Okay. So we're going to recommend that you run mid-grade to premium.
Okay. Now you've got some pretty cool things going on. We've got a couple the hard mounts on the wing itself, drop tanks, fuel drop tanks, and also some munitions, some bombs.
Yes, yeah. The ordnance that are available are optional. The ordnance themselves.
Okay.
The airplane includes the pylon mounts. Those are actually in the box. They're designed to use the E-flite payload serverless payload release mechanism. They bolt and screw in, plug into your receiver. You can drop them sequentially in the air. A little demo package there.
Oh, that's
You've
cool.
got the dummy tanks, fuel tanks you see here, as well as the 500-pound dummy bombs. And those are available separately.
Okay. And then you also mentioned too, on the retracts, you can do some programming for the sequential doors, flaps, speed, timing, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, we designed a brand new set of retracts, E-flite retracts, including the tail wheel, to fit into the airplane so that we could actually incorporate a door package. So the doors are not just in the box and let you figure it out. The door package is included, they're molded, and we actually walk you through and step you through the process of how to install and make those work. If you're going to put doors and things on a Mustang, you need to be able to operate the doors and make them open and close in the correct sequence so they look and function properly.
Absolutely.
And that usually involves either purchasing a separate sequencer or having a radio with the capabilities of doing that, which now requires some additional thought or additional spending. So what we did is we included a controller that actually controls the retracts and has a built-in sequencer with a separate programming module that you plug into the controller with a little LCD display, so you can actually go through and adjust and adapt and modify the programming to fit for whatever application you're using. In this case, a Mustang. So the manual for the airplane will walk you through that process. Very simple. I'll use the term plug and play. It works quite well to give you the effect we're looking for, which is a fully closed up door package, or when she's on the ground, everything down.
Absolutely. I'm anticipating some scale competitions going on with all of the innovations you guys have done with this, all of the realistic carryovers from the prototype aircraft. You even have a sliding canopy. Canopy can slide open and close.
Right.
Some neat innovations too, you mentioned the 3-part wing system. So for transport, you can keep it on the landing gear, pop off the wing tips, make it a lot more practical.
Yeah, you know, most guys that flying World War II airplanes, or even just giant scale airplanes in general, if you have a separate wing, you have to take off the fuselage and you have to have a cradle of some sort to transport it.
Well, you got wires, you got tubes, you got everything coming between the fuses.
And damage can occur because you're placing the model in stress points it really wasn't designed for. So if you can leave it on its landing gear, it's designed to be on its landing gear, so transportability is a lot eased, and as well as, you know, hangar rash or transportation rash, it's just a lot easier to handle. So we separated the wing panels, as you can see here, just outboard of the inner gun, and it's just on a couple tubes. It slides in, make the connections, and she's all together. The wing system that you're seeing here is all, again, like I said, light ply, balsa. It includes a ability to set up a light system.
Okay.
The E-flite navigation light controller that we sell separately, the LEDs and such, can be purchased as an option.
Okay.
The lenses for the tips are in the box. So we included the lenses so that you don't have to go out and purchase anything other than the way to make them illuminate.
That was my next question. It's easy to get LED lights. It's hard to get scale or prototypical lenses and stuff. You know?
So we set those up. You mentioned the sliding canopy. That is not an option. That is in the box, as well as a full-depth, fully detailed cockpit kit.
Okay.
You're going to spend a fair amount of time in the cockpit installing it because there are a fair amount of pieces that have to be built into the airplane to give you the look. We didn't just give you a tub to build out and slap in there, so they're all the individual pieces are fit to conceal and finish it so it looks as real as we could get.
So even though you bought an ARF, you still get your model fixed, your modeling fixed by building out the cockpit
Correct.
area. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
And then of course the scale pilot figure that's
Scale Pilot's
well.
available. We do not personally sell them, but he is available. And I'll mention that a little plug, warbirdpilots.com.
Sure.
And Adam Martin, he does a fantastic job, and I think finishes off the greenhouse area.
Absolutely, yeah, it makes it look very, very realistic.
The stabilizer on the back is plug-in. You can either plug it in, glue it in place, or you can plug it in and screw it in place. So if you want to remove it, if you are one of those guys that ships your airplanes to events or whatever, you can take the stab off and put it into a crate and ship it off. Or if you're just a guy that flies at your local field, you can glue it in place and not be hassled to worry about it.
Okay, great.
All the surfaces on the airplane are hinged, pre-hinged at the factory, and not with your typical hinge. They're G10 and piano wire hinged. So every surface on the airplane is removable.
Gotcha.
And all the control horns are G10, which the consumer will have to install, but those are all fiberglass G10 composite.
It's, you know, taking ARFs of this caliber, pre-built to this caliber to the field, takes away that previous shame of, well, it's just an ARF. You know, you've now got something that looks like it was a built model or assembled model, and the quality's there, the consistency's there, and of course the performance, and that's the big thing everybody wants to see in a warbird.
Yeah. And you know, if you've got a buddy and you both have a Mustang or you both want one, and you don't want to, you know, all be flying Gentleman Jim, in the box, we've included 2 decal sets. So you've got Gentleman Jim, which was flown by Jim Browning. Unfortunately, he didn't make it out of the war, but he flew wingman for Chuck Yeager. And Chuck Yeager's ride was Glamorous Glen 3.
So you can put either the Glamorous Glen or you can put the Gentleman Jim.
Absolutely. So you go out and fly wingman and pair off, and I mean, we do it as well when we go out flying. It's fun. Just that little extra.
ARF kit, $849.99 retail. You do, of course, then you have to add your power plant.
Yep.
As far as additional costs above and beyond, radio system, receiver, servos, things like that. Any other costs involved, or is everything else pretty much in the kit then?
Everything pretty much else in the kit, you know.
Okay. All right, well, you guys go to the Hangar 9 website if you want to find out more about the Gentleman Jim, the new Hangar 9 P-51. And of course, keep your eye out at the airfield this summer. I'm sure somebody's going to be chomping at the bit. I'm sure you got a few pre-orders on the P-51 ready to go. Bill Brundle, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time, and enjoy your flying season with your new baby.
Looking forward to it.
Well, ParkZone's been synonymous with a lot of park flying fun over the years. In fact, they've been responsible for a lot of innovations as well, especially on the micro size. With no exception, taking AS3X stability that they brought into the ultra micro aircraft, and now moving into larger park flyer size aircraft. We're here with Matt Andren, the product developer of the new Sport Cub. Excuse me. This is it's got Hobby Zone floats on it, I noticed.
Yes, yeah.
But it's actually a ParkZone aircraft.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
As it comes out of the box, it has wheels very similar to like the Carbon Z Cub that everybody's familiar with now, very large bush tires, so makes it great for flying off just about any kind of surface, pavement, dirt, grass, it'll take off on anything. And then with the optional Hobby Zone floats, all the hardware is included with the airplane for the floats. Purchase the floats, slap them on, and basically the world's your runway with this airplane.
Barn door flaps.
Oh, absolutely.
All the stuff you'd expect on kind of a Tundra Cub.
The flaps are optional. You basically just drop a servo in. All the hardware's included for that as well. Okay. So out of the box, it's a simple kind of 4-channel airplane, and then you can kind of expand it, put the flaps on, put the floats on, and then you kind of got a multi-purpose airplane you can take anywhere.
Gotcha. Looks like you guys have done a little bit on the actual airfoil itself. You've also put the vortex generators in the front.
Absolutely.
Trying to take some of those bad tendencies out of a smaller size Cub.
Not so much. It was more to get the aileron responsiveness at slow speed, and just to delay the stall a little bit more. So it just helps with flying a little slower, getting that high alpha right before you touch down, you know, doing those bush-style takeoffs and landings.
So that, I'd say that would really complement the bush-style flying.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Availability on the on the Cub?
Right now, it's looking like late May, early June for availability.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of
I might
buzz
even
on
have
it
the price
so far.
point. Oh, I do. $219.99 for the bind and fly. You're making it bind and fly and plug and play as well.
Yep.
At $179.99. And this does have AS3X built into it?
Yep. Comes with the 636 receiver, the new AS3X receiver on that. And
now that can be disabled or enabled? Or
yeah, you can program it with everything you need. As it comes, of course, in the Sport Cup, it's all set up for that. So you basically just bind it to your radio and go. You don't even have to worry about servo directions or dual rates or export. You basically just go and have fun with it.
Just fly it and ready to go.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Time for the float to wheel conversion. Did you guys make it pretty practical to flip back and forth? Or?
8 screws, maybe 2-3 minutes at most.
Okay.
Very, very
We've noticed in the past sometimes it's a little bit of a project when you go from your floats back to your wheels.
Exactly.
You guys find out more information about, and is it already on it's already on the website?
Yep, already on the web. Check out the video, all that good stuff.
The ParkZone website, check that out, and keep your eyes out for the new Cub.
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Matt. Appreciate your time.
You got it.
Well, continuing through the booth tour at Horizon, we're now with Seth Arnold, product developer, accomplished RC pilot. The list goes on and on. What did you win last year?
XFC, actually.
Okay, that's a small competition.
Just a little
tiny one. Nobody knows about that one.
Right, nobody.
We're here with the Ultra Micro Pitts S1-S Bind and Fly Basic. A new, again, taking that AS3X stability into a micro platform, having a little more fun with something that may conventionally, without stabilization control, might not be so much fun to fly.
Exactly.
So, tell us a little bit about the Pitts.
Sure. So as most people know, most people are familiar with the Pitts S1, Pitts Special. It's a very iconic airplane in the aerobatic segment, both in full scale and modeling. A lot of people know, as far as models go, 40 and 60 size Pitts S1s, they tend to be not the friendliest airplanes, kind of squirrely, kind of hard to land, easy to ground loop.
Yep.
This is an ultra micro model of the Pitts S1, as you can see here. We've done a lot of work on making sure the airplane is very close to scale, and maintaining the kind of looks and iconic feel of the real airplane. But this, as you said, features AS3X technology. So this airplane is actually really phenomenal flying airplane. It flies great. Grand handle's fantastic. It's really amazing how well a small Pitts like this can actually fly.
And that's the benefit you guys have seen with having AS3X stabilization on. You can really play back into those more prototypical airframe designs, but still have a good flying aircraft.
Exactly.
So it's got to be a lot of fun for you as well when you guys put something new on the drawing board and say, hey, we can do this now, whereas before it was, I'm not touching with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah, exactly. It's really, really cool. The airplane comes as a bind and fly basic, as you said, so there's no battery, no charger, no transmitter, so any guy out there with a Spectrum 2.4 radio can bind up to it.
Okay.
Very common 2S battery we sell with the other Ultra Micro 2S airplanes. It's brushless. It's anywhere from 150 milliamp to 200 milliamp battery.
Okay.
Got a removable hatch here for you to put all the battery in, as you can see on the camera there.
What have you seen? I know AS3X tends to chew up a little bit of power when you have it running and active on the Ultra Micros. What kind of run times are you guys seeing? With
on the recommended 200 milliamp battery, you can get anywhere from 4 to 8 minutes, depending on how you fly them on. If you're doing a lot of long up lines and high throttle settings, you can reduce that time a little bit, but just kind of putting around and stuff, it gets pretty decent flight time.
Yeah, and really with it being an aerobatic plane, you're going to be driven more into that full throttle or high throttle aerobatic maneuvers and stuff, which, as we know, chews through. It's kind of like a micro EDFs.
Exactly.
We want to fly. Oh no, I'm gonna nurse this flight, but 3 minutes later you've killed the battery because this has been hammered the whole time.
Yep, exactly.
Availability on the Pitts?
They're actually building them right now at the factory, so just a little over a month. They're getting ready to put them on the water, so hopefully we should see them soon.
Okay, great. And this is an E-flite aircraft, not a ParkZone, it's an E-flite.
Yep.
So you can go to the E-flite website, check out all that information. I assume the product release is already up there. The information's up there for everybody to check out.
Everything's up there online. So.
All right. Well, good luck in the flying season and competitions this year, Seth. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you much.